Thank you all so much. I'm told I'm the last speaker this morning, so I'm going to be a good steward of your time. You have busy lives and lots of things to do, but what a great honor it is for me to be with you. Thank you, Maureen, for the introduction and your leadership, and thank you all for continuing this very important tradition. We are celebrating the 250th anniversary of the greatest nation in the history of the world, and I agree, as you do, that it's particularly fitting, I think, on this year, that we reflect on the essential role that faith plays and has always played in our national life. And I know some of the brilliant speakers you've had this morning have highlighted this, and I just wanted to put a fine point on that this morning. Because you know it is from the very birth of our nation that America has always been sustained by prayer and been reliant upon our foundation of religion and morality. It is in the DNA of our nation and who we are. You heard earlier about patriots like Charles Carroll, who was the only Catholic signer of the Declaration, who remind us how closely our founders aligned their faith with the fight for independence. I'm often reminded of one of my favorite Psalms, Psalm 11:3, and it asks, if the foundations be destroyed, what will the righteous do? And it strikes me that's not a rhetorical question for us. It's one that we must answer in real time. This year, the President's initiative, America Prays, invites every American to consider all of this again. And I'm so encouraged to see the Catholic prayer breakfast continue to heed that call, carrying on this important tradition for more than 2 decades now. So thank you all for that. Religion in the public square happens to be one of my favorite topics. It's one that I've debated and taught and written about for almost 30 years. I used to litigate these issues, and I've been a professor and taught this to the next generation coming behind us. I'm convinced it's one of the most misunderstood issues in American public life. I'm often criticized for invoking my faith, but I remind people that's not some innovative thing. It's what previous generations did. When I go to the little chapel right outside the speaker's office in the Capitol to pray, they mock me for that. There are some very angry voices out there trying to convince us breathlessly that there must be a rigid separation between church and state. It's a phrase that's often repeated, as we know, but very rarely understood. That phrase, as you all know, derives from not the Constitution, but a personal letter that Thomas Jefferson wrote to the Danbury Baptist Association. And in that letter, he explained that because, quote, religion is a matter which lies solely between man and his God, the First Amendment is a vital safeguard for our rights of conscience. Jefferson wrote that he revered that act of the American people which declared that their legislature should make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, thus building a wall of separation between church and state. Now they take that phrase and they turn it around. Jefferson clearly did not mean that wall to keep religion from influencing our government and public life. To the contrary, the founders wanted to protect the church and the religious practice of citizens from an encroaching state, not the other way around. Our founders understood that a free society and a healthy republic depend upon religious and moral virtue, not only because these things help prevent the abuse of power, but also because those convictions make it possible to preserve our essential freedoms. The father of our country, George Washington, famously said in his farewell address, "Of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports." John Adams came next, our second president. He said, "Our Constitution is made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other." The founders wanted a flourishing of faith in the public square because they knew that religion and moral virtues strengthen our nation by encouraging and inspiring things like individual responsibility and self-sacrifice and civility, family and community, the dignity of hard work, the rule of law, and the sanctity of every human life. Without those virtues, indispensably supported by religion and morality, no nation can endure. There's a lot more I wanted to say to you this morning, but time is short. I could go on about these topics all day long, but it is an important reminder as we approach the 250th anniversary of our nation on July 4th. It's very important to remember those foundations because they are being attacked today, as we all know. As we rededicate ourselves to the cause of our founders, we should turn toward prayer again, just as they did. And why? Because it strengthens and fortifies this grand experiment in self-governance and liberty, because it repairs the foundations that undergird the republic, and we do that because we have to remain as we always have, one nation under God. We do live in the greatest nation in the history of the world. It's not even close. We're the most free, most successful, most powerful, most benevolent nation it's ever been, and it is because we are built on those foundations. And in order for us to keep this, you and I know that it's a spiritual battle. With your help, I know we'll keep it. I know we'll leave it stronger and better and more prosperous than ever before. And I thank you for your dedication and commitment to that. We're all in this together. God bless you all, and God bless America.